Most people are not exhausted because life is too hard. They are exhausted because they are constantly managing how they are seen. They replay conversations, explain themselves too much, defend choices that were never up for debate, and carry the quiet pressure of needing other people to understand their heart. It looks harmless from the outside, but it drains the mind more than most people realize. The need to be understood can become a private prison. That prison is subtle. You tell yourself you just want clarity. You want fairness. You want people to know your intention. But if you are honest, much of the time it is deeper than that. You want relief. You want the discomfort of being misread to end. You want to fix the image of yourself inside someone else's mind. And that is where suffering begins. Because the moment your peace depends on another person's interpretation, your peace no longer belongs to you. This is why so many people feel mentally heavy after simple interactions. One strange tone, one cold reply, one look that feels off, and suddenly the mind starts working overtime. Maybe I said too much. Maybe they think I'm weak. Maybe I should explain what I meant. Maybe I should send another message. Hours pass, sometimes days, and the situation is still living inside you while the other person has already moved on. That is not connection. That is self-abandonment disguised as emotional responsibility. The Stoics understood something that still feels brutal today. You are responsible for your character, not for your image inside the minds of other people. You can speak honestly. You can act with dignity. You can do your best to be clear. But after that, the rest is no longer yours. Their judgment belongs to them. Their projection belongs to them. Their misunderstanding belongs to them. And if you keep trying to carry all of it, you will spend your life emotionally overworked. Most people never notice how much energy they waste on this. They wake up already tense because their mind is still tied to yesterday's impressions. They are not living the day they are in. They are living in a court case inside their head, defending themselves to people who are not even present. That is one of the quietest forms of slavery. Not chains on the body, but emotional dependence on other people's perception. What makes this harder is that being misunderstood feels personal. It touches the ego, but it also touches old wounds. It reminds you of the times you were ignored, blamed, dismissed, or made to feel invisible. So the adult reaction is often powered by much older pain. That is why some misunderstandings feel heavier than they should. You are not only reacting to the moment, you are reacting to everything it awakens underneath. But there is a different kind of strength available to you. Not the strength of the perfect comeback. Not the strength of explaining yourself until you are empty. A quieter strength. The strength to let people have incomplete versions of you in their mind without chasing after them to correct it. The strength to know who you are without demanding that everyone else confirm it. The strength to remain inwardly settled even when someone gets you wrong. This does not mean becoming cold. It does not mean you stop caring about truth. It means you stop bleeding energy into places where truth is not being sought in good faith. Some people do not misunderstand you because you were unclear. They misunderstand you because it fits the story they already want to believe. Some are committed to seeing you through their fear, their insecurity, their resentment, or their own limited perspective. No amount of explanation will free you from a lens someone is emotionally invested in keeping. And that is where maturity begins. The moment you realize that not every misunderstanding is an emergency, not every wrong opinion needs your response, not every false impression deserves your emotional labor. A powerful life requires conservation. Attention is limited. Peace is limited. Inner steadiness is fragile when constantly overused. If you give your mind to every person who misreads you, you will have nothing left for your own life. There is something almost sacred that happens when you stop chasing understanding from everyone. Your mind gets quieter. The endless drafts of imaginary conversations begin to fade. You stop preparing speeches for moments that may never happen. You stop performing sincerity for people who were never open enough to receive it. And slowly, your energy returns. Not because the world became kinder, but because you stopped making your nervous system responsible for every broken perception around you. People often confuse this with indifference, but it is not indifference. It is self-respect. Self-respect says I can be kind without over-explaining. I can be honest without begging to be believed. I can care without collapsing into your confusion. I can let you be wrong about me and still sleep peacefully tonight. That is a higher form of confidence than image management will ever give you. The truth is, many people do not need more validation. They need stronger internal ground. Because once you know your values, once you know your intent, once your life is aligned enough that your conscience is quiet, outside, misunderstanding loses much of its power. It may still sting, but it no longer rules you. It no longer hijacks your day. It no longer turns your mind into a place of endless defense. That is the power of letting people misunderstand you. You stop making yourself small enough to fit every expectation. You stop translating your soul into simpler language for people who do not really want to understand. You stop treating your peace like a public resource, and in that shift, something returns to you that most people lose too early: inner freedom. So if your mind has been tired lately, if you feel drained by people more than by work, ask yourself a harder question. Am I truly exhausted from life, or am I exhausted from constantly trying to be correctly seen? Because those are not the same burden. One comes from reality. The other comes from attachment. And attachment can be released, not by becoming numb, but by becoming anchored, not by hating people, but by no longer needing all of them to agree with your existence, not by shutting down, but by finally understanding that peace begins where explanation ends. The day you stop needing everyone to understand you is the day your life becomes lighter. You speak when it is needed. You stay silent when it is wasted. You stop fighting for control over minds that were never yours. And for the first time in a long time, you get to live your life instead of defending it.